Libra, grandest arisings. How's everyone feeling on this fine morning? Libra. We're going to get into it, but first, my name is Ashley Indigo. If anybody is new, hello, welcome. I'm here to help you see what you can't see, hear what you can't hear, and to feel what you can't feel. And today, Libra, we are going to be doing the December monthly energy reading. Feeling real calm and feeling real peaceful today. And I'm feeling like that's maybe how Libras have felt this month. Calm and peaceful. Whenever there's calm, whenever there's peace, you just know God's in there. One of my favorite things is just get in there with the sunlight, because whenever we see sun, it's always equivalent. When we think about God and we think about His grace, we know that when there's sun and it's shining on us, we have His grace. Because there's so many people who don't get to see that, who don't get to feel that every day. You know what I mean? There's people who don't wake up. There's people who are underground or in deep depths where they don't get to see that light. They don't get to enjoy that every day. So, sunlight is something so small that we can be so grateful for, because it means something so special and something so important. It means that we have God's grace. And as long as we have God's grace, we're in a beautiful, beautiful place, Libra. So today I'm going to be reading from 2 different decks. Got a little bored with the other ones, and like readers, I have different decks. And I do different readings. If anyone wants to schedule anything personal, anything intimate, you can always go down into the description box, and there you will see the pricings for my readings. And you'll see a little bit more information in the email that can be contacted. Now, I am thinking about doing something. I do understand that there's a money situation out here in the world, and I want to make my readings accessible to everyone. So I am going to be doing something here soon to make everything a little bit more accessible for people who maybe can't afford the full price, but do want something. I don't think that healing should be exclusive to someone, whether or not they can afford it. I think that, many healers like myself, we don't put a price on things because it's about money. We put a price on things because it's about time and energy. If you want a reading, but you're not willing to pay for that reading, but then you'll turn around and take that same money you could have got a reading for and got a bag of weed. Like, what do you value more? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? If we've seen time and time again that people put their money on the things that they value, and for us energy workers or anyone who does any type of healing work, we never want to feel undervalued. People will say what they say about having to charge and whatnot, but for me, I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting anyone's time. I want to make sure that you want this information, and I want to make sure that no one's wasting my time. Time is a precious currency, and we should treat it like so. Okay. So I'm going to be using the Psychic Tarot deck today, which I like because it's got all the colors, it's got the numbers, it's got it includes chakras, and it's all the things that I like to read just on one card. So I love to do that. And then I'm going to do an Angels and Ancestors deck, which we all have angels, we all have ancestors, we all have people that come before us. Ancestors are nobody to be prayed to. We don't pray to our ancestors, but we do take them into accountability when we make choices in this life. We do understand that everything that we do, every choice that we make, affects not only the lineage to come, our children, our children's children, our children's children's children, but it also does have an effect on the lineage before us. Are we going to make them proud, or are we going to make them sad? You know what I mean? Are we going to carry on their name, or are we going to forget about them? It's a bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and get the cards that I'm going to read for y'all. Okay. Very excited to be moving into the 2022. I got to tell y'all. I think I'm going to do a live in the 2022. I think it's just the quickest way to do things. Whether I'm going to do it on Facebook or IG or YouTube, I'm not sure. Okay. This is looking good, Libra, out the gate. It's looking good for you. I love that, Libra. It's so crazy because my sister's a Libra. Hi, Sierra. And she was just here. Beautiful time. I'm not even going to get emotional, but I did get a chance to crank her out one of these beautiful readings. She's never had one from me before. And it said something to the effect of what I'm seeing right here. So I love to see this. Okay. I mean, each one's different because she got a personal. Ooh, Libra. It's looking hot for you this month, honey. Ooh. Shit, Libra. Oh my God. It is looking red hot for you this month, Libra. All right, Libra. So, we've got some themes here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the themes. All right. So, y'all been listening to me. Y'all been listening to me, Libra, because I feel like the first couple months that we got together and we talked, it was I feel like we were more worried about other things. We were more worried about being seen. We were more worried about taking all the glory. We were more worried about getting all the credit. And I don't think that we had that. I don't think that we were giving credit where credit was due, but I see we're giving it, and I'm proud of you, Libra. I'm proud of you, okay? Let's just get into it. Triumph. This is the theme, baby. You see that black border around here? This is the theme. And it's got 7 on it. 7 is God's favorite number. So right out the gate, we know that we have his blessing. Okay? We know that there are rewards to be God. So Libra, what I'm picking up is there was some things that you wanted to prove. Not just to other people, but there were some things that you wanted to prove to yourself. Okay? You didn't know how you were going to do it. You didn't care how you were going to do it. But you were fucking determined. Okay? I see determination all over this dude's face. Nobody's stopping shit. And that's the way that you've pulled up, Libra. You never surrendered. You never gave up. There's a red flag. I'm going to attribute that red flag to being solid. Okay? When we think of red, especially knowing what this deck is, we think of like root chakra energy, age 0 to 7. Okay? We think of, we think of, how can I put this? We think of being grounded. Okay. So there may be some dream from 0 to 7. You may have had dreams as a child, some things that you wanted to achieve as a child, and you never stopped. You never gave up. It didn't matter what Joe said. It didn't matter what Sally said. It didn't matter who didn't believe. It didn't matter who didn't support. You have done the work. You stayed steadfast, okay? You've got God's grace because this person has this yellow light around it. So that's God's grace. That's what I equated to. But not even that. You feel like you belong. You feel in power. You feel empowered by the journey. You followed your heart's desire. God can give you anything you want, but you just have to believe. Not just in him, but in yourself. God loves you so much. I mean, what way do you stretch triumph out? What way do you stretch success out? It's just short and sweet. This is something that you wanted for a long time. But you've worked so hard, so you deserve it. That's what I hear. You've worked so hard, so you deserve it. You got the blessings, you got the praise. Keep staying focused. Keep marching forward. I feel something in my heart. It feels emotional, right? You can always count on me for emotion, huh? Not emotional, sad emotional. Emotional like I can't believe it. Emotional like it's finally happening. Emotional like just emotional like a point of like never feeling like you would get here, never feeling like you'd be able to survive all of the red flags. Never feeling like you'll be able to say that you did it, but you did. Now, 7, this is a big theme. Somebody's relationship with the higher self, not even the higher self, your relationship with God. 7, that's crown chakra energy. This is our crown right here. That's what makes us prince and princesses. Okay, because we come from love. God is the ultimate love. He's the ultimate G. He's the king. So by way, because he is the king and because we are his children, we are princes and princesses of the king. You are stepping into your divinity. You are stepping into your power. I feel like we've been talking to God more. We've been communicating more. Now, even if you haven't gotten to a point to where you're hearing him back, like to where you feel him talking to you, you feel yourself talking to him. Well, no, you know you're talking to him, but like to the point to where you feel like you're in that that fluid conversation with him. Or even if you haven't gotten to a point of maybe like understanding religious things or understanding spirituality 100%, you've taken the advice of talking to God. And talking to God will get you far. Because when we talk to God, even if we don't 100% know him, that's how we get to know him, conversation. Like I said, me, myself, personally, I have never sat down and read every single page in the Bible. I have never sat down and read every single word in the Bible. But growing up, we went to church every Sunday with my grandma. There was always words and lessons that she would teach us out of everyday life. One thing that I used to hate when we were younger is if anything happened, any situation, and me and my cousin, we would joke about this, there was always a verse. There was literally always a verse. You couldn't get in trouble without hearing a verse. Something bad couldn't happen in the world without hearing a verse. And then it was one of the things my grandma used to discipline us, like verses. Like, we'd get like this whole talk about how like the Bible said this, and you know what I mean? And I never knew that all those little verses, all those little things, everything that she told me was a seed, okay? Every Bible verse is a seed, because now as a parent, I find myself planting those same seeds. Every Bible verse is a seed. And when you plant that seed in them, that God is real, sooner or later, when their back is up against the wall and there's nothing else they can do, and they've exhausted all of their options physically, they can't help, I couldn't help but to turn to God. You can't help it, because you have these seeds planted in you. Someone or some people have told you that God is real. They've confirmed to you that if you want this, if this God, they put that seed in your head. So of course, as a human later on, all those seeds are going to connect. All the lines are going to connect. And then you'll know. Like, wait a minute. Let me try God. And in trying God, you find that it's not so much about the result, Libra. It's not about the result, okay? It's about the fact that A, you feel heard because you're getting to put it all out there. And it's about the fact that B, after you feel heard, then you feel this peace. Especially, oh my God, especially if you went to him distraught, like a hot mess, like I have many times, an ugly cry, snot, whatever. Now you feel peace wash over you, a strange peace. Now you feel warm. You know what I mean? From putting out that hurt and from putting out that pain and from saying, hey, Father, do you hear me? Now, even though you haven't seen the result, because this is not a genie we're talking about, okay? This is our Father. This is someone that we have to build a relationship with. This is someone that we have to say, hey, I know you're there. Can you hear me? Hey, I love you. Hey, thank you for blessing me. And then on the flip side, Father, I'm trying to, can you help me? It's so many different ways that we can come to him. But Libra, I feel like you've been coming to him. I feel like you've been talking to him. I feel like you've been trying to test the waters. I feel like you've been trying to chime in to that relationship with him, and you're doing it the right way. You're doing it the right way. But I gotta tell you a couple things. To strengthen this, wear purple, because purple is the color of royalty, first and foremost, okay? So to strengthen this, stay in your purple, okay? Continue to have that communication. Continue to talk to God. But as you continue to triumph, you listen to me close, because shit can change up real quick, Libra, okay? Listen to me close. As you continue to level up, as you continue to succeed in your triumph, don't forget about God. Now, one thing with success in any field, any place, people will pray, people will cry, people will do all this stuff with God, go through the trenches with God and all. And then when they hit that level and things are happy, things are smoothing out, now God's nowhere in the vocabulary. Now you don't want to talk. Now there's no time to talk. I'm warning you now, Libra. The minute that you get to that place where you feel like, thank you, God, and you're so satisfied and everything, and you forget about God, be careful, because he will forget about you too. Now, we're moving into the 6. The 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, the 2022, that's the 6 energy, big 6. So that's mood. So that's self-growth. That's self-love. That's love all around, because everybody's heart chakra's opening up. But that's love. That's authenticity. That's being real. That's doing the work in the heart space. I feel for you that you're going to be doing the work, because life is going to call for you to do the work. That's really the only way to succeed, to continue to do the work. Part of doing the work is giving credit where credit is due. And realizing that although you're amazing, Libra, and although you're triumphant, and although you're getting through these phases in your life, you wouldn't be able to do it without God. Okay? God sees you. Because I know you want to be seen. I know you have this thing about being seen, but God sees you. And that, him seeing you, you're going to see it this month in December. Him seeing you is better than anyone anywhere else seeing you. Because when he sees you, it's special. You have some type of approval. And that approval is what's going to get you from this world that we live in now to the place that we're going. Let everything you do, Libra, be done in the name of God. And when it's done and you reap the benefits of that, let everybody know that the only reason that you're able to do this is because of God. Let everybody know that the reason that you were triumphant, the reason that you held on to those dreams, the reason you never let go, the reason you set your sights so high is because there's a God. And all the glory goes to him. That doesn't mean that you should not take credit for the amazing things that you do, because when we do amazing things, we're proud of them. You know, when we stay the course, when we follow our dreams, and when we get these amazing places, of course we want people to know that we are part of the reason that we're where we're at. You know, our mentality, our skill. You know, Libra, I think with you, your skill, your perfectionism, which watch out for that because that can get you. Your dreams, your goals, Libras, they're all about dreams. They're about dreams and love and perfect. I mean, when I think of a Libra, I think of the word pristine. It's just the word that comes up for me. Well, you want people to know about these things that you've done, and I get that. But don't forget to tell them that God did it too, okay? There are children in this world looking up to everybody, waiting to take over because they're our future. And something that is not instilled in these children, you hear me, Libra? Something that's not instilled in these babies is God. It's not instilled the way it should be. So when we have dreams and we accomplish our dreams and we come in contact with children, or we're put at a level to where children can see us and they can see our successes, you always want to let them know you wouldn't be here without God. God got you through, because we go through big moments where big, amazing things happen. But we also go through little moments too, where not so good things happen, where not so great things happen. And in those moments, we might not have noticed it then if our relationship wasn't where it needed to be. But hindsight's a beautiful thing. You can look back where you're at now and think about where you were at and realize, if it wasn't for God, there's no way, Libra, that I would be here. Because he is the mover and the pusher. You know what I mean? He takes the broken and he makes them the MVPs. He takes the underdogs and he makes them the greatest of all time. You know, when you read the Bible, one of the things that sticks out to me in the Bible, Libra, is the people. The people that God chooses to carry out his grace. The people that God chooses to show the rest of the world something. He doesn't choose the rich. He doesn't choose, the people who got it fucking going on. He don't choose them. He chooses the shy. He chooses the seemingly broken. He chooses the alcoholics. He chooses the abused. He chooses the spiritually lost. He chooses the most unexpected people to carry out his plans. He chooses the most unexpected people to show, I can do anything just like you can. I can take this person with a broken spirit and I can make them great beyond measure. But Libra, for you, the message is, you were lost at one point in time and you're being found. And part of the reason that you're being found is because you hear your call. You hear that I am calling you. and you're answering. And it's not going to look perfect. It's not going to look how someone else would say it's going to look, but just accept it anyway. And when you get to that place, when you get the glory, don't forget to give the glory back. God works through all of us, different ways. You're going to succeed. Don't worry. But don't forget to tell them how. As long as you tell them how, you'll be rewarded and you'll continue to be rewarded. But don't ever lose sight. Don't ever lose sight of what's important. Okay? Wear your crown and wear it proudly. Part of wearing your crown proudly is not being afraid to say his name. God. Say his name more often. Continue those conversations because he likes that. Recognition and reward. Told you it was good for you all across the board, boo. All right, so I see someone who is being recognized, who is receiving a reward. Okay, for physical. 3. So not only have you been thinking about it, Libra, you've been talking about it, and you ain't just been talking about it, you've been doing it. And that's part of the reason that's got you so far. Action. You didn't have clear sight, but you still took action. You've been walking by faith and not by sight. You've been using kind of an internal knowing that this is what you want to do, knowing that you're destined for this, knowing. You've been tapping into your knowing. Big crown energy. You're being recognized and you're being rewarded. God sees you. There's that spotlight, but I can always equate that to his grace. Become a loyal servant. I feel like you've been looking at your inner child. I feel like there's some healing going on in that aspect. Because 3 is also inner child energy. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel like you're doing some digging. There's doing some diving. I feel like you're getting into that inner child healing. I gotta tell you, because I felt it on my heart. It is not easy work, Libra. You know, the closer you get to God, the closer we get to our real selves. And our real selves start as a child. 3 years old. You know, they're interchangeable. You can't know God without knowing yourself, and you can't know yourself without knowing God. You have to. I feel like there's going to be more of that, more diving into that inner child, more trying to figure out who is my inner child, who am I at the core. What's so important about that is as you move forward towards your goals and your dreams, there are some things that you have to leave behind. We all create a self. Here's when I think about like Avatar, this is kind of how it is. Like, we are 3 and we know ourselves and we know who we are. But then once we get about 3, 4, our parents, our peers, whoever it is, they kind of crush, that thing in us, that confidence that we're so sure of ourselves, they get rid of that. So then what they do is once they split that confidence, we start slowly but surely creating a new identity based off of the should and shouldn'ts of this life. Shouldn't do that. You can't do that. We start to create a person that's socially acceptable based off of what other people fucking think. That person is not us, though. because we were who we were when we were 3. That's the real self. So all the bullshit after that we fall further and further away from who God created us to be. Feel like you're going to be doing some diving with that, some recognizing of the self, and that in itself is really rewarding. But you have God's grace and support to do so. You know, part of how you know that God is using you in any situation is when it involves unloading, when it involves being true, when it involves being honest. Because when Satan uses us, he uses us in ways that are detrimental to ourselves, detrimental to others, kind of in ways that tell us you're not good enough, you're not good, the doubters, the naysayers. He'll use all of that to try to push you away from who you really are. The closer you get to yourself, kind of like a self-doubt sets in. Am I enough? And he works on you. He just works on your brain. He works on your mind. He works on you. Okay. Sorry about that. I think my salt lamp's out of a light bulb here. Be easy on yourself, okay, Libra? All of the changes as far as the recognition, being triumph. I feel like there's been a lot of tears, but I feel like the tears are not in vain. Okay? Stay true to yourself every step of the way and don't forget about God. As we move into the 6, as we go through the 6, there are going to be things in this world. There are going to be things in this earth. There are going to be people who try to deter you, who try to push you away from your greatness, Jealousy, jealousy, jealousy. Watch out for jealousy. Jealousy is one of those things, Libra. And I feel like, with success comes haters, that comes jealousy, but keep your eyes open, keep the feelers open. If you feel like a situation is not okay, or you feel like, some of the people that you're around are not okay, talk to God. Have that decision, that discussion with God, Heavenly Father, I'm in a situation, I'm surrounded by some people, can you please make a clear path for me? Can you please help guide me? Ask and you shall receive. God is there to assist you in any way because he's your father and he just wants the best for you. But it's all about being authentic, which I feel you're in a very authentic space, Libra. Very authentic space. Don't let other people make you doubt yourself. Okay. That's how it's one of the tricks of Satan. As soon as you start doing good, here he come with the bullshit. Via people, trying to get in your brain and cause doubt. That's not what we're doing, okay? Libra, I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card here. The Angels and Ancestors deck. Oop. That was easy. All right. Hold the space. All right. It says Droid, hold the space. Okay, so this guy has a staff. It's got the clear quartz on top, so that's healing to amplify. It's got plants around, so this guy's out in nature. He's got tattoo, some tribal tattoo, and he has dreads. Hold the space. Okay. To me, this card is telling me that you're going to need to take moments to yourself, Libra. to think, to recharge, to refresh. To me, this is someone who's not taking enough personal time for themselves to get it all together upstairs. I feel like when you rub elbows with people, not literally, but when you're around people, you need to then take time for yourself to unload all the different energies, to get all the different energies off you. I also feel like you need to make it your business to make sure that you are making regular time for yourself. And in those moments that you have time for yourself, you talk to God. Continue to hold that space for Him. Now, not only are you holding the space for Him, but you're holding the space for yourself. Because you're giving yourself time alone to rethink, to think, to have a conversation with yourself, which is really having a conversation with God. I feel like, Libra, you guys can get so caught up in perfection and in trying to get things done and in these impossible deadlines for yourself that you are not, do, but not enough being. And I feel like when you are being, it might be for a nap, which I know y'all Libras like to sleep, but I feel like you need to start holding more space for you and God, more space for you to think creative outlets, more space for you to do things that are going to feed your soul. Read a book, quietly meditate, pray. I feel like you're being called not so much to do, because success is yours anyway. But I feel like every successful person has to have that moment where they unwind and where it's just for them. And I feel like so if you have a clear quartz, you can do that because that gets rid of all negative energy. I have a huge, like, fat ass clear quartz necklace that I wear. And I like it. It keeps things light. If you're able to go spend some time in nature, spend some time in a park, go do that. Stargaze, I would recommend that. But I feel like you need to do things or create space for you to just clear out your energy. Salt baths is one that I like to do. I call them like salt baths where you just sit in it, And then, of course, after, you probably want to take like a shower after, just to rinse like off any extra negativity. I would look into salt baths or even spiritual baths. But I feel like you're needing to create just some sacred alone time for yourself and for your moments with God, okay? All right, Libra. It was pretty short and sweet today. I love you. And thank you so much for joining me. And everyone have a blessed day.